live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn.
A friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Hi, you're listening to KURT Radio.
KURT
Radio. And it is June 13th, 1980.
That's right,
Coming
John.
at you. This is K. Thomas with Crazy Miq.
Hey, Tommy, we're watching the roads now. Looks like the roads
What's
could have
the weather
a little
like out
snow.
there?
Well, the weather looks like there could be a lot of snow today. You know, I mean, there was snow yesterday. There could be snow tomorrow, and there's snow today. What do you think?
If you have your cows outside, you better put them in the barn.
You better be careful out there driving around because that ice could land you on your butt and heartbeat. Butt and heartbeat.
A button to heartbeat.
Butt and heartbeat.
That's the next song we're playing by Neil Diamond.
Where it began, I can't begin.
I don't know how my voice started like a DJ. Then
Yeah, how
evolved. And then
was
you sound
that?
like a 40s report or like the Hudsucker Proxy. Like,
Oh yeah! Look out, Jimmy!
hey, Jimmy. What are you doing? So this is a movie.
I'm gonna get the download on this. I'm gonna get the download on this story. Yes, sirree.
Download? Do you think they said that in the
download?
the 411?
Wow, the 411. Yeah, oh, it's the 411.
This is the first time. Well, speaking of words and language, this is the first time I've seen this movie with an N-word in it, like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Oh my gosh! Right, that's right.
I've only seen the edit. I have the DVD. I don't even know if it's on there.
Do you remember it in the D? I don't
think so.
I didn't remember it. I have to tell you the truth. I should have. What year was this out?
1980.
1980. In 1980, I didn't see this in a theater, so I probably didn't see this until it came out later on as a tape, on VHS. So that would have been 4 or 5 years later.
I've only seen it on... Oh, I saw it on TV initially.
I mean, this is the first time I've seen it on the big screen.
I've wanted to see it so badly on the big screen for a long time.
And I have to tell you, I did not enjoy it as much on a small screen. I didn't enjoy it as a film, to tell you the truth. I really didn't care that much about it. But on the big screen, it reached out and reached down my throat.
Yeah.
And tickled my peenie from the inside. It did, man. Boy,
I've always liked this movie on the small screen. And
well,
I've
I
always
liked
dreamed
it,
about seeing it, so I'm glad we went through Time Warp and we went to 1980.
It was amazing.
I want to say they changed the credits, though, because the opening credits, they looked so different than what I remember, but unless I'm just remembering wrong.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember the credits being that pretty and clean.
I don't remember anything being that pretty and clean when you consider that I would have seen it in
this
a
is also
VHS copy.
Too.
Yeah, it's been remastered. It's a 4K version of it. It was amazing. It was really amazing.
I mean, it had olive oil, and she did a good job playing scared.
I have to tell you something. Seeing Jack Nicholson's face that big on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Especially making those faces.
Yeah. You know what? It gives me a feeling that this film got away from the Stephen King book and
probably
became so much...
I don't remember the book.
So much...
I don't think I read it.
Yeah, well, I don't think I did either. But, I mean, the film became about Jack Nicholson's face.
I think Stephen King didn't really like this one when it came out.
I don't think that he did.
Which is weird that he's promoting the new one by showing the old one now.
Well, you know what this is? But this is the problem. In Stephen King's... In all of his stories... The directors that kind of grappled it away from him, away from the written word,
sure,
did the best with them.
Yeah,
because I mean, that's just a fact, right?
Remember what I was saying before when we saw the, the trailer for the new one?
Right.
I said if I hear Stephen King say he's looking forward to this one and it's one of the best ones
gonna
ever,
be terrible.
it's going to be terrible. Because I think he said that about Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, it's because he didn't like Christine that well either, and Christine was a better film.
That was pretty decent, yeah.
than his story was. You know.
Oh, I forgot something in my intro. I hear there's a new movie called The Shining.
The Shining, you say?
Where was I going with that?
You didn't go anywhere.
It's directed by this guy, a little young lad named Stanley.
Stanley?
I think he's a flash in the pan. I was gonna try to.
He seemed to have a foreign name. Foreign last name, you know?
No, speaking of Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick, yeah.
I don't think he goes by Stan, but Stanley Kubrick. So. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it's totally his. You know, it's funny because there's something... It's, to me, an awful lot... And you have to remember that he's pretty close in time link-wise to MASH, right?
Yep.
And there's something about this film that, to me, reminded me a lot of the clash of 2001: A Space Odyssey and MASH, kind of rolled together and given the two their styles, you know, because he made, you know, he has a tendency to make the scenery a strong character in his films, and he has a cold, emotionless way about him, and that was taken by why can't the Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
That cold character was taken to its craziest extent.
Was this after Cuckoo's Nest or before? No, it had to have been after.
It was after, yeah.
But no, yeah, it was my favorite part when he starts. It's what's interesting to me is you could definitely see the different parts of the movie, like, you know, part 1, part 2, part 3.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like where you can see he's totally flipping, like where she sees the, you know, makes Jack a dull boy. Right. And then he just starts, like, you know, mocking her and stuff. Right. I just love how he does that.
Oh my God. And that was a single shot.
Yeah.
That goes all the way around the room.
Yeah.
And then comes up the stairs. And they did it in a single shot. And
then how she's swinging at him, like, while he's like
so ineffectually, right? You know,
and she's just freaking, like she was so weak,
right? In fact, you know, the thing is, I think in the last 45 minutes of the film, she only had her hands in this position. Yes. They were flopping around, flopping up in front of her. That was
rubber arms,
right? Rubber arms. She looked like rubber arms. She looked exactly like the rubber arm from It. Only
Do you know why?
She had two of them.
It's because Stanley Kubrick said, "This movie needs rubber arms." I don't know if that's how he talks, but did he
this movie need? Because you know what?
Yeah.
Every great movie needs a couple of rubber arms.
I'm trying to remember if they used one in Full Metal Jacket or A Clockwork Orange.
Wow.
See, the Full Metal Jacket was one of my favorite war movies, but that's just an aside.
That is totally.
We'll put that over here.
Yeah, but
no, but you're right. Jack Nicholson carried the whole thing. The kid was kind of a little bit weak, but the carpet made up for it the Hot
the
Wheels.
roller thing.
No, not the Hot Wheels. What's it called? You said one of those. A big wheel.
Yeah, big wheel. Right, big wheel.
And I loved how they used the sound of the big wheel to sound like a heartbeat.
Didn't they love it?
The sound design was amazing on this.
It was absolutely amazing. And when he's going from the carpeted to the floor to the carpet to the floor to the carpet, and the sound was just amazing.
The only thing that got kind of annoying was the loud musical, like, I mean, I like how they're using like different like drums and stuff, like to make different all noises. But like some of the
and the violins that they're plucking, they're like running things on the ends of the.
But like some of the loud strikes were kind of annoying, like
a little bit much. But it is a masterpiece. It really is totally a masterpiece.
I like it more actually now. I didn't think I would.
I did too. The thing is I have not seen it ever on a big screen, and on a big screen it took my breath away. I mean, just
especially when you see him running through the maze and like
right and you know his face with Jack Turley, what was the name of the bartender?
The bartender. Weren't we talking about him before we went in?
Yeah. I just wanted to.
Here we go.
The bartender's name was Joe Turkel. Joe Turkel. Joe Turkel. When you're looking at him and his eye line is down and to the right, or now down to the left. Well, he was down to the left, but you notice that he's not looking in the camera, but he's looking at a specific spot, just slightly down and slightly to one side or the other. And then you turn around to Jack, and Jack Nicholson is looking right at the camera.
You're talking about
when they're talking in the bar. No, when they're talking in the bar.
In the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, in the bar. And I worked with him. And boy, if this was 1980, I worked with him in 83, maybe 84 on Tales from the Dark Side.
Storytime with Miq. 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 Storytime with
And he memorized every line from that film. He ran them again and again, the bartender lines. He would run them ad nauseum. It would just, it's like, oh God, really is he? He wanted to run it for everybody. You would get into it. It was like me.
Yeah.
It was like me with a story. Like except for his, he only had one story. And it was about being the bartender.
Right.
Right. So, oh God, I went on and on and on. Jack, it's, what this film is a Jack Nicholson tour de force.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I keep thinking to myself, like that one shot. There's a shot that's just him staring out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And the camera's just moving in on him. He doesn't even move a muscle. It's just him looking crazy angry, right?
Must have been a really fun movie for him to make.
Oh, man. Yeah, So I think to myself that one of the things that Stephen King probably didn't like about it was the fact that it had become a tour de force for a single character in it, I mean, because let's face it.
Well, every movie he had done up to that point was kind of, I'm just looking at the list. Looks like he carried a lot of them. Maybe not Easy Rider, but.
Well, yeah, but.
No, but Chinatown for sure. That was definitely.
Let's see if.
5 Easy. I can't even talk.
The Fortune.
But no, I think this was his. Obviously, this changed a lot in his career.
Yeah,
because if you look at the list, it's like,
have you ever seen? Well, you know what is if you ever saw The Last Detail?
No, I haven't.
That's a great film, and it has some of the character that at his naddest point.
Yeah,
he's this guy.
So I guess he started his madness in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right, and just kept going.
kept going with it. But he was in Tommy. That's all we need to know about Jack Nicholson.
Well, there you go. That's cred.
That was
street cred right there. No. Yeah, so that's.
I want to talk about Scatman Crothers.
Yeah.
How old was he in this one?
I don't know. He was young.
Because he always amazes me how he just looks older than he is, and the way he talks.
He really has.
And he's not the best actor, but he's just so interesting to look at. And
he is just an interesting. He is. I think that he's also a piano player.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and he's a very good piano player.
I had no idea.
But what else? There was something that I was going to think. So I have never been out to that hotel, but I have a feeling that the maze is not there.
Right. Well, I know that they shot the
maze was
exterior somewhere else.
They also shot some of the hotel. Some of the hotel is the Ambassador.
Right.
But the maze was obviously made.
Yeah, that was awesome though.
It was great. It was you
could tell that he was running through the same spots in a lot of shots, but
he was getting there to.
But they must have groomed they must have had him run through multiple times and had to groom the.
God, grooming snow will drive you crazy. Grooming snow is.
Of course, that's not. Most of it was fake snow, wasn't it?
It was all fake.
It was
snow,
all fake.
But believe me, Still, it will drive you bananas, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, that huge slope of snow that he tumbles down, you know, that's fake.
Yeah, of course.
But
if I had a nitpick, though, like when he was walking through the maze, when Jack Nicholson was getting really cold.
Right.
His face looks still like he was almost sweaty. Like they should have.
Right.
They should have made it start to like look blue or something.
Yeah, and the makeup of him at the end, that one shot
where he's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's always been kind of a rough one.
It would have been better if he was like hunched over, like he was when the shot where he sits down and he hunches over.
Right. Yeah.
They should have just had him in that position, frozen.
Right. But just looking right at the camera like that.
And I think they stayed on it longer because they said, "Oh, this took a lot of work. Let's keep on it for 5 seconds."
You know what I say? I would say, yeah. You know, the problem is you got the $20,000 monster.
Yes. I mean, it could have.
I need to see that rubber sucker.
But don't you think if they showed it for a second, it would have been more effective than?
Oh yeah, no.
They stayed on too long.
Well, you know what? if they had gone to a scant shot, you know, like you said, if he was slumped over and we saw across his face, I think across his frozen face,
you see the icicles coming off his nose.
I think it would have been more effective. That particular goony face of his, going straight into it right in daylight, you know, that was a little hard, you know. Kind of looked like they took a snapshot of it. And then just closed in on the snapshot.
See, I'd like to make a sequel to this and have like them and the cat, you know, the snow cat.
Yeah.
And then have the snow cat crash, and then have the zombies start attacking them.
Yeah, snow cats never crash though. Those things are amazing.
Or have it run out of gas.
Yeah.
And they get out.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
And they get attacked by zombies. Then the forest ranger comes to help
them. It's not
them.
about zombies. It's not about zombies.
Well, you know. Why not make everything about zombies? That's what it seems to be lately. Mm-hmm. Vampires. Come on, man. Bring back the vampires. And mummy movies. We haven't seen
there you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah. Boy, I got to tell you something, though. Shooting in the snow is a pain in the butt.
I believe it.
Man, I was...
Especially real snow.
Yeah, real snow. Now, I've shot in real snow in Alaska.
Storytime with Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq.
We shot in Runaway Train. We were shooting in this place called Eagles Pass, which is like north of it's outside of Alyeska, way back along the tracks. And you could only get there by railroad, right? And so we had all of our cars, and we had to make these avalanche gates. So at the end of a tunnel, so that the runaway train could come through and burst through the avalanche gates. We had to put snow on them and all the rest of this. And so we, we'd spent days just freezing our balls off, rigging this gate up. And the thing is we didn't have, there's no way you could get equipment in, you know. You literally just got up there with, we had like 2 of these huge ladders. I mean, the ladders go 30 feet just to get to the top of this tunnel, right? And then we have all the pieces of the breakaway. And so we're screwing them together. And the one day that we were actually doing it, we were going to shoot it the next day, and we had to pre-rig it. And, oh my God, it was like 25 degrees below. It was a wind chill, and the wind was coming down this valley. And oh shit! So we're up on the. So I'm up on this ladder, and the thing is we have a crew of 4 mountain riggers, and they were helping us snow rig, you know, all the stuff that we had to do. And so they actually were on the mountainside, Tetoned into the mountainside above the tunnel, right? You know? And so we're working to try and put this thing together, and they have 2 down and 2 up. We're pinned in, and we're pinned in above, and then we're in full harness
Right.
Being held by the ropes going around, right? And so this wind came up. Now, and here's the weird thing is this valley would just have these moments where the wind would just start to build and build and build and build and build, and then it would be going like 70, 80 miles an hour.
It was like a runaway train?
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah. and the thing is we're on the side of this mountain and right in the front of a bridge, and then it just the mountain side just goes down below the bridge and below the train bridge down. So we were looking for that, really scenic out of the tunnel over the bridge, right? And so literally the wind would come down the tunnel too. And so I got caught and it took my ladder away. The ladder just was just flipped like we never saw it again. I mean, it just disappeared, right? Because it had about 500 feet to fall.
Sure, yeah.
But it had about 5 miles to go with the wind. So it just kind of it disappears. And I'm the wind is coming from the other side of the tunnel as well, so I'm just going up, and I'm flying like a kite. I swear, I am myself. I am flying like a kite, and I have, my screw gun here. The screw.
Are you still holding it like you're trying to screw it in somewhere?
I was hoping.
You're going to come back and...
Yeah, I was going to come back, and I was going to get that screw in. But... So they just had to let me down and let me down and let me down and let me down. Then I had to grab the train cracks.
Well, it sounds like fun, actually.
I was young enough to where it was probably a little bit of fun.
I just went to summer camp with my kids.
Yeah.
And
YMCA
camp. And so what they did is they put us on this rope and they pulled us up.
Yeah.
And I went at I think I went 15 feet up.
Right.
And then I had to pull my own lever. I had to pull it. And then I swung backwards because I didn't know where I was going. So it was probably the same feeling.
Right. Same feeling.
Except for I knew I was safer because it was a controlled environment. And then my wife went all the way up.
You know what? Here's the thing.
So you got to give her props.
When you're working and you're on a safety line and then the safety line becomes everything. Then
yes.
You rethink the whole thing.
Exactly.
You don't have much time to rethink it, but somehow or other you do. You go, well, because the thing is, and I have to tell you this about safety harnesses in general. There's something about safety harnesses in general and harnesses that, lift you up, that they're all tied to your penis.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
It's like, so, basically it's like just hanging by your out there, not comfortable.
So for us well-endowed gentlemen, it's safer.
Well, I am hung like a hamster, and therefore
I'm more like a light switch.
Therefore, you mean one of the flat ones?
It's that easy to get me excited.
Yeah. Yeah, being hung like a hamster is. Maybe I didn't have as firm a grip on my safety line as I thought. So there you go.
Well, I used to go rock climbing when I was younger.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are here.
Storytime with her.
I snuck away and climbed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I would go with people that knew a lot more than I did. That was my number one rule.
Right. Well,
and then we always had somebody belay us, as we're climbing, or then I had somebody go before me to put everything.
Right.
so I had to I didn't have to do anything other than just follow them.
Just climb it, right?
And then they would give me advice on what to do. So I was never a great climber, but yeah, I love jumping off things, and
we used to
as long as I knew I was safe.
We lived really close to an old gravel quarry.
Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq.
The great thing about it was you could follow these trails around the gravel quarry, and then you could jump off of them.
Yeah.
And the thing is the bottom of the bottom of the walls. They would go down maybe about 30 feet, and then they would come out with gravel.
Yeah.
But sometimes it was gravel, and sometimes it was kind of coarse sand, right? So you could walk along the rim of it, and you just jump off into the air.
Wow.
And you would go, and 30 or 40 feet, and then all of a sudden it's just gently, it's
like a gentle slope.
Wow. You just start sliding, and then you'd slide until you stop. That was hilarious.
Well, I had a friend, Melanie, in high school
and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are here, we are here, we are here!
Storytime with her.
We would drive to this, like, we go down this highway where we knew there were some cliffs above us.
Right.
And we would actually just hike up, and then we'd basically tie to a tree, but we had a rope long enough to where we could double it up.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
we just, like, rappel down it.
like rappel down it.
But the cool thing is
yeah.
you could hang upside down and watch cars drive underneath you. And it looked like they were right underneath you, but they were like obviously like 6 feet over.
Right.
You know, because
right.
we were on the shoulder basically. Yeah. But it was in Tennessee. It was speaking of Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Like
it was
where
in
I'm
East
going.
Tennessee.
Woohoo!
This was around the Sevierville area.
Sevierville?
Where Dolly Parton's from.
Oh.
Yeehaw.
Geez. Dollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dollywoody.
By the way, I'm really impressed with Dolly Parton. I learned more about her. I was watching the Ken Burns documentary.
Oh, she's cool. Yeah. No, she's got an amazing voice.
I didn't know how her childhood
Jolene,
was.
Jolene.
Yeah.
Oh, that song is heartbreaking.
She said, I was the fourth child of 12 kids. We were so poor that...
They didn't have running water, didn't have electricity.
Right, yeah.
The doctor that basically birthed her,
right?
They didn't have any money, so they gave her a sack of corn flour. Gave him a sack
whole
of corn
sack?
flour. A
whole
sack. So
oh my gosh,
that was
wow.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
always
then she got a corn doll. A doll made out of corn.
I always thought that she had a great sense of humor. What was it?
I like how we're talking about Dolly Parton now.
She says, yeah, I don't know where we're going, but this is, one of her things was,
costs a lot of money to look this cheap.
Yeah.
I always thought to myself, oh, okay, all right. There you go.
Well, I remember when I was in high school,
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are here, we are here, we are here!
Storytime with her.
I think I told that story before where she was doing like $500 for anybody who graduated, and she made a deal with them in eighth grade.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, during the event where she had like Exile, the horrible country band, play, they had one song I think that was popular.
Right.
But she was introducing them, and she was talking about, she was coming out to congratulate everybody. So she was like, oh, hold on, I can't find my notes. And she's like, oh, they're in my purse. And she like opened up her blouse, pulled it out, and she's like,
They're not real. That's where I keep my lunch.
it's like, I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, she's a very funny person.
But anyway, so speaking of breasts, there are a lot of breasts in The Shining, which I can appreciate.
There are, yes, and some pretty horrible ones.
See, that's the thing that horror's gotten away from. It's like, I think it was an important part of horror.
Listen, Vengeance 13.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th Vengeance.
There's a few in there.
Yeah, there you go.
A few. Maybe more.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, but it's I mean, as long as you're not doing it just to do it, I mean, it's kind of...
No, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
We were doing it just to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think in this case, maybe
you know what? I asked Jeremy that. He says, well, we're going to have a lesbian love scene. And I said, well, okay. Equal time and all that, we need to have a couple of guys slapping tickle.
Sword fights.
It's sword fighting, yeah, that's right. So he just didn't go for it.
No, I think Jeremy thinks like I do. It's like, it's kind of it's a part of horror.
It's a rite of passage.
Especially when you were talking about like the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
It's a part of every one of those movies.
I think it is. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like an underlying, like, usually it's kind of like the if you notice, like the Friday the 13th, like especially the first one, the kids that are sinning are the ones that die first.
Well, duh.
So I think, maybe Jason's not that bad after all. Maybe he's just taking care of all the bad kids. I don't know.
You don't
just
know.
saying.
You don't know. Just saying. So, here's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Who's the final girl? It's usually the one that's good, or the one that's comparatively good.
Yeah, the good girl, right? Yeah. And the whores get the chores. So, how would you rate this?
Well, I would give it like a 3.4 or 5 if I was watching on my small screen.
Yeah. What I just saw is a 4.2.
Yeah. No, I'm actually higher. I'm like a 4.5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I really like this one.
Well, the thing is, I
didn't hear the sounds before.
There were two. Yeah, exactly. But there were two clunker shots to it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the first one was, but the second one was the one in the bedroom, the one with the guy in the mask in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make any sense. I mean,
no.
And I'm not saying that it has to make sense. It just didn't make any sense.
I was trying to figure out if it was like a furry convention that happened at one point.
We got the room. You guys, I don't care what you're filming. I rented this room. Furby delight.
We'll let you stay if you
open up the door and let us film.
Yeah, if you do a scene before us, where you just look at the camera.
And they were like, "Oh God."
Yeah, that was that didn't make much sense.
Yeah, see, that didn't make sense. And there was one other, and I can't remember.
I think they could have done better at the end, like with Jack getting colder, like just.
Yeah,
they had makeup in 1980. I mean, come on, make it blue, kind of gradually make him look bluer and maybe colder.
But otherwise, man, an absolute masterpiece. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but watch Full Metal Jacket too, because that was.
There is one of his films that I've never seen, and you know what it's called? Nashville.
Nashville. Oh, okay.
I really. Yeah. Or is that Robert Altman?
Doesn't sound. I don't know.
I might have the wrong.
I don't think it's Stanley Kubrick.
It's not. Yeah.
But I watched. Is that it right there?
No.
TV series.
75. Movie 75.
Robert Altman. There you go. Sorry, man.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, Full Metal Jacket. I've watched it so many times because I was writing my final paper on Full Metal Jacket from one of my film classes, and I still want to watch it.
Oh, see, Robert Altman. I always confuse him with Stanley Kubrick.
Why is that?
I don't know. They both have this cinematic, this huge cinematic look to their stuff. Anyway.
I think Kubrick looks more like a serial killer though. Like if you look at him,
that's true.
Especially if you see him in the 80s and 90s. I don't know how he looks now, but.
So how many hours have we made this thing?
This one.
Yeah, this one.
About 3.
So we should say goodbye.
We talked about Dolly Parton. Somehow we worked that into it.
We had Dolly Parton.
Yes. Vengeance.
Alaska. Vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went a lot of places there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Well.
So if you can see this in the theaters, The Shining,
you got
the remastered one.
If you ever get a chance.
Yes.
If you ever get a chance, it is more than well worth it. It is its milieu, as it were.
And if you haven't seen it, you have to see this before you see the new one. I mean, there's no question about that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you haven't seen it at all, get as close as you possibly can. Get about 3 feet away from your 62-inch TV and watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Really loud. Really loud, right? Yeah.
Of course.
Loud. Okay.
Surround sound.
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.